Throughout this entire course, we've sprinkled in our unique wedding ideas for food and beverage, decor, and everything, but we thought it might be helpful to you to have one section to go to have just a list of different ideas that could make your wedding fun and unique. And granted, this is something that's constantly changing. You might see ideas on Pinterest and Instagram from other weddings, but we just thought it'd be fun to share some of our favorites, and hopefully we'll keep adding more to come.
So let's start at the beginning. What I'm thinking about is when you're actually walking in, I'm thinking about the escort card wall. So escort card, where your guests go and they see their name, they see their table number. There's so many fun ways that you can lay this out. We can do a wall with vases. So it's almost like a set of shelves and you have vases lined up and you have Mrs. Lauren Randolph, and then she has some beautiful flowers coming out. So like at the end of the day, you have a shelf and you have vases and you have flowers. And yes, it's your escort cards, but it's also a beautiful decor piece.
It is. It's like the mirrors too, that I think we had Katrina show. We'll show you again, but these huge 6-foot by 8-foot mirrors that say Mr. and Mrs. Lloyd Hummel, table 5, like such a standalone decor piece. What are some other of those card walls we've seen we liked?
I love this one, but it's best for a smaller wedding, but you can do champagne glasses with people's names on them too and have a champagne wall.
Oh, that's a fun one. I've also seen escort cards written on geometric patterns, on the agates I think we'd seen earlier as well too, on coasters. It doesn't have to be a traditional card propped up on the table, although it's beautiful and nice, but I've seen succulents with people's table numbers, leaves, like there's so many fun ideas to incorporate into your own floral decor when it comes to those cards.
Some other things that come to mind, and these all have to do with food, of course, are a beautiful coffee station or cappuccino station, which really adds to usually the end of the night, but this is fun. You have the old-fashioned coffee maker so people can get lattes and even the foamy lattes, maybe with a heart or the couple's initials.
That is a fun one. And then there's midnight snacks, which never get old, or their food truck. We always like that. I think out here on the West Coast, everybody gets really excited when the In-N-Out food truck pulls on up.
Yes, yes. We love good signage. It's such a special way to personalize your event, whether it's a bar sign. As we've mentioned, you can name your drinks. You can have a name for the bride, a name for the groom, something special that's the two of you, for the two of you. If you have a photo booth, you can have a fun sign there. And these can all be hand calligraphy.
Or they could be printed, bought on Etsy. You could do love quotes, mirrors. It goes on and on. We just love signage to customize your wedding day.
As a woman, it's so nice to walk into the ladies' restroom and there's amenities there. It's a beautiful tray, even with a candle that smells so good, some hand lotion, maybe some hairspray if I want to do a quick touch-up, a breath mint. If I need to file a nail, there's a little nail file. We love a nice restroom basket, specifically designed for women, and don't worry, we can do one for the men too.
We can, maybe. Another fun thing that always goes off and is really popular are flip-flops. We buy flip-flops in different sizes. Sometimes you can get them super cheap from Old Navy, or we here in Los Angeles can go to downtown LA in the Fashion District, and you buy flip-flops in a variety of sizes for the women. Sorry, boys, but your shoes are a lot more comfortable. And come time, halfway through that reception, you can have them on a table. You can ask the hotel or your planner to help pass them around, but the ladies love the change of shoes sometimes so they can keep dancing all night long.
It's true. You're always ready to take off those heels. You know what I love too is if it's a chilly night, even in the summer it could be chilly after the sun goes down, we put a basket of pashminas wraps that you can put around yourself either at the ceremony or at the cocktail hour. And also blankets. Sometimes we have blankets out for the ceremony too. If people want to cuddle up and cozy up, it just adds to the atmosphere.
It's so nice, especially if it's a cold evening and maybe you don't have heaters and your ceremony could run a little long. Sometimes it could be more cost effective to do the blankets or the heaters, but it's a good thing to compare costs between the two and a very nice touch for your guests.
And speaking of being cold, sometimes we're warm.
Yes.
And I love a nice little fan to, during the ceremony, if you're outside and you're sitting for a moment, a pretty fan to open up and fan yourself is so nice.
I was gonna say, I even love when those fans are programs and you can have your program written on the fan, and then it's kind of multi-use. I like to be as eco as possible.
Also, an umbrella. It's so fun to have a little parasol, and you don't have to do this for all the guests. I mean, usually we get for about half the guests. It also is a great photo op from the back, especially if they're like bright pink or yellow or blue. Even just white is so clean and nice, and just a nice way to shade yourself from the sun.
Very true. We talk about timing throughout the day. You spend maybe sometimes the least amount of time at your ceremony and the most at your reception. So sometimes bringing in umbrellas and tenting for a hot ceremony is not as cost effective as going and buying some of those beautiful parasols and umbrellas to make your guests feel all the more taken care of and comfortable sitting under the sun. I've even seen some fun sunglasses too. For those who forget sunglasses, you can hand out little sunglasses with your names on them.
Especially if you're at the beach, put on those sunglasses, watch a ceremony overlooking the water. It just adds to the atmosphere.
It does. You know what I like to add too, speaking of the beach and the warmth, is a lemonade or water station. As your guests walk into the ceremony for a summer, spring wedding, you could have a lavender lemonade, plain lemonade, water, infused water. If it's winter, I remember attending a winter wedding and they had hot cocoa. Well, during the ceremony, you could get a little cup of hot cocoa and sip on it during the ceremony. And those little touches, and everything we like to share with these ideas are touches to just show your guests you've thought about them, you're excited to welcome them and honor them for being there.
We could go on and on. There's so many unique wedding touches, and we'll definitely keep adding and give you a downloadable so you can have them right at your fingertips. But we hope this has shared some of our favorites with you.